Alright. Testing. Sounds fine. What's the volume like? Volume's fine. Alright. So, time to get started with the stream one more time. I had a lot of fun playing this visual novel, Our Life. So I'm going to do it a little bit more. Where's my mouse? Where's my pointer? What the hell? Okay. Hey Trekkie, welcome back. The hell, where's my mouse? Alright, so I see the cursor on the stream. I don't see it over here, which is cool. Okay, whatever. Alright, give me 1 second. Da-da-da. Okay, where is this? And there we go. And I can see my screen now. Perfect. I'm doing okay, Trekkie. How about you? How's it going? Good stuff? Right. How's the audio mix? Last night I realized that the music was a little too high compared to my voice. Seems fine? Alright. It's good to hear, Okay. Hey Elmo, welcome back. Sick? A little bit. I am perpetually in ill health. Nothing too bad right now. Alright, so we have a few... This is a visual novel where you live through the childhood, young adulthood, the teenage years, and the young adulthood of the main character and the romantic love interest, right? It's just slice of life. It's really quite lovely, quite relaxing. Let's go with let's leave Ghost to the end. Sleepover.
Okay.
All right, kids, we're done with dinner. Come to the table. Your stomach rumbled right on time, as if it had heard your mom's words. You halted your game and looked over. Mom was almost done setting the table. She was walking around the mahogany wood in the process of putting down cutlery. That word. Mommy was still in the kitchen, humming under her breath as she turned off the stove and put empty pots in the sink to wash. From behind you, Lizzie stirred, crossing her legs and standing up. She stretched her arms above her... what the hell? Above her head. Finally, I'm ready to eat. Then she cast a sly glance in your direction. You recognize that look. Too late for me tonight? Sorry, it's okay, Elmo. See you later. Take care. I will, thank you. Last into the table is a rotten egg. I haven't. But it was too late. Lizzie had already bolted towards the kitchen. You tried to catch up to her. You stayed sitting. You yelled out to her, or You threw a cushion at her. I'm gonna go with... You threw a cushion at her. Grabbing one of the cushions from the sofa, you launched it towards her. It hit her square in the back of the legs, but it was too soft to do anything of real consequence, and she merely brushed the attack off with a scowl. It was a short distance to the kitchen table. Lizzie managed to get there easily enough, slapping a hand over the wood. Mom just before Lizzie could bump into her. With an exasperated sigh, she resumed her work. I win again. You didn't win because you were racing me yourself. Because you cheated, okay, you won. You didn't bother trying to talk to her about that. Probably what I would do. I won, that means you're rotten egg. Ugh. Lizzie grinned, her hands on her hips, then looked over your shoulder. Cobb, you think so too, right? You blinked. You hadn't even noticed what he had been doing during this little event, which wasn't much. You spotted Cobb still on the floor, his legs crossed beneath him, the arm with the cast resting in his lap. He looked at the two of you with a slight frown. It felt sort of strange to see him still here so late. Tonight, Cobb had come to your house for a sleepover. Your mom's and his dad had planned it a few days ago. You weren't surprised. You were the one who had asked your moms about it. You were excited when your moms told you their idea. There was so much to do. It had made you quite nervous. I think... You weren't surprised. We asked for it, okay? They had told you they would ask Mr. Holden. You looked forward to it since the moment you found out he agreed. And you even helped Mom search the storage room for a sleeping bag and extra bedding to prepare for his visit. Cobb pursed his lip at Lisa's question, but he didn't respond. Maybe he was planning on ignoring her. Not that Lizzie would make it easy. Oh, that rhymed.
Come on!
Well, did you win or what?
No.
No. What? I don't think you won. How come? It's not my fault, Corey Slow. Cheating's cheating, and cheaters never win.
You always pick her side.
Yeah, you heard her. She always picks our side. Good. He knows which side his toast is buttered. Sounds weird. Cobb snuck a shy peek at you before answering her. I pick her and she picks me. Oh, cute. You're a couple of rotten eggs then. That's enough. Nobody here is a loser or a rotten egg. You're each farm fresh. That's actually a nice response, I like it. I know, right? Which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. Fair. Now listen to Mom and come sit at the table for dinner, all three of you. You and Lizzie obeyed, sitting across from each other at the back of the table. Lizzie blew a raspberry at you when Mom turned her back. To can play at that game, you stuck out your tongue out right back. When Mommy pointedly cleared her throat, though, the two of you stopped. Your parents brought the last of the food, then they took seats further down the table, instead of sitting right next to you and Lizzie. Only Cobb was left out. He had stood up from his spot on the floor, but he hadn't made a move towards the kitchen. Cobb, you can sit too. Slowly, he eyed the 4 seats that were left. Thanks to the new seating arrangement your parents chose, one free chair was beside you, another next to Lizzie, and the last 2 were on the other side where your moms were sitting. Sit next to me, come on. Cobb's gaze met your red eyes. You smiled. Briefly, he grinned back. He walked over, pulled out the chair next to yours, and sat down. You were glad he wanted to sit with you. He just needed to know it was okay. Now that everyone was situated, Mommy began to pass out plates.
Okay.
Dig in, kids. I cooked a little bit of everything for dinner tonight. Be sure not to avoid all of the veggies.
Ugh.
Yes, Mom. Each person at the table served themselves, except for one. Cobb hesitated again. He fidgeted with his hands clamped on the top of his knees. He didn't seem very comfortable doing stuff in someone else's house. One dish seemed to have his eye, at least. That's pineapple chicken. Wanna try some? Not really, sorry. By then, your moms had noted that Cope still had nothing on his plate as well. Do you not like any of the food, honey? Maybe he hasn't tried Hawaiian food before. He hasn't? Wow! Please don't talk with your mouth full, Lizzie. Lizzie swallowed the bite she was eating. Then she spoke again. You should try it now. She turned to Cope dramatically. Unless you want to shrink. That's what happens if you miss a meal. Elizabeth, that's not true. You know that. Cope squirmed under all the attention. He fidgeted with a fork between his fingers. I've had some things, just not any of this.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot. I knew I should have asked your dad what your favorite foods were. It's alright, Lenny. Maybe he'll find a new favorite today. You weren't so sure about that. Cope didn't look like he was going to be trying the food anytime soon. You let your moms handle this? I think you would like the chicken. It's yummy. Give me your plate, and you should try something new. What do you think? Interesting. Let's go with this. Cope was a little confused by your request, but he handed it to you anyway. But pineapple chicken, it sounds... I can't imagine what that tastes like. You took the plate from him and piled only the best foods on it. He watched your work intently. His good hand shoved underneath his leg. When you were satisfied with the amount on his plate, you returned it. You should like some of these.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Good job.
That was very kind of you, Corey. You puffed your chest out at the praise. At first, Cope poked at the food. Clearly, he was apprehensive to eat something new, but he took a few exploratory bites.
Right?
It's good, isn't it? You don't have to keep asking. He still speared more meat with his fork and ate it, chewing thoughtfully. It's not bad. Mommy grinned at his words, satisfied even though it wasn't exactly a glowing commendation. Lizzie wasn't as mollified. You're so weird. Don't be mean to your friend. We're not friends. Oh. Mommy floundered in the face of Cope's blunt honesty. You weren't surprised by Cope's declaration. The more you got to know him, the more you realized he wasn't the type of kid to keep his opinions to himself. In the end, you're supposed to, if the two of them didn't want to be friends, you couldn't force them to be. You hoped Cope thought of you as a friend, the two of you were friends, you wonder how he felt about you. That still made you nervous about your own relationship with him. At least the two of you were definitely friends. Let's go with this one. When you gave Cope a look, he returned a small smile, and that made you feel good, even though you were still unsure. Your mommy looked at Mom and only got a shrug.
No.
Elizabeth, don't call someone weird. There's no such thing as a weird person and a non-weird person. There's just different perspectives. It's not a nice thing to say to anyone, but Pam. Mom tried to whisper exclusively to Mom. Her attempt to make it audible over the sounds of clanking silverware made you caught the quiet words anyway. They're not friends. He said so. As parents, we can only try, and sometimes we fail. Not all kids will be as thick as thieves. Now, less talking and more eating, kids. You need to clean up and start winding down for bed soon. But Mom... no buts. We've talked about this, your bedtime will be moved back in a few years. For now, you don't get to stay up late. Lizzie sulked, muttering under her breath about how it wasn't right. You laughed at Mom's phrasing, you groaned about it as well. You stayed quiet and finished your meal. Probably that. It was good food and you were pretty content to just keep eating. That's the idea. Good job, Curry. Everyone else, get to it. The rest of dinner passed by uneventfully. Cope was silent for most of it, even when you nudged him and tried to get him to talk. All too soon, the table was cleared, the games in the living room were put away, and you were all steered to your bedrooms. Mom finished tucking you in and kissed your brow just as Mommy poked her head in the room. All ready for lights off, you two? You were lying comfortably in your bed. The blanket hiked up under your armpits. You could kick it off later if it got too hot. Mom had set up the sleeping bag on the floor for Cobe, just beside your bed. He had already wiggled inside. We are. Perfect. I'll go say goodnight to Lizzie then. Mom tweaked your nose, chuckled when you squawked an annoyance, and left. Mommy took her place, sitting on the edge of your bed. Sweet dreams, sweetie. Oh wait, the mommy voice. Sweet dreams, sweetie. She pressed a soft kiss on your forehead. You giggled as strands of her hair fell forward and tickled you. Mommy smiled down affectionately at you, then moved her attention to Cobe, who watched from his spot on the floor. Do you need anything falling asleep, honey? What does your dad do? Sometimes he picks me up and lifts me really high and shakes his hands like he's gonna let go, but he catches me again. He keeps doing that until he does drop me on my bed, or other times he lowers me down and we pretend like I'm crashing. Fair enough. Cope had become pretty excited when talking about the nightly ritual he and his dad shared. He seemed to realize how animated he was and bashfully quieted. But I still don't want that here.
Aww.
How fun. Though, I think you're right that it might not be a good idea to do that tonight. The sleeping bag might not be soft enough, might not be a soft enough landing. If there's anything else, you can always ask me or Corey's other mom. But I'm the nicer one. Just don't tell her that. She laughed good-naturedly and stood up.
Take care.
Sleep well, Cobe. Night. Leaning against the door jamb, she rested a hand on the light switch and looked at you. Good night. Oh. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bedbugs bite. Fuck. Let's hope not. Fucking bedbugs are terrifying. With a last smile, Mommy turned off the lights and stepped out, closing the bedroom door behind her. You listened to her footsteps fade as you walked down the hallway, but even as the sound Spanish, your eyes stayed open. It was so exciting to have Cobe spending the night. You were happy that Cobe was spending the night, but he couldn't shake the conversation from earlier at the dinner table. Cobe had said that he and Lizzie weren't friends, but that wasn't the part that was bothering you. You couldn't stop from wondering what he really thought about you. Guys, do we ask or do we keep quiet? What do you think? Don't ask? Do you like me? Cope didn't speak for a few moments, and you wonder if you'd startle him with the question. The longer the silence stretched, the more uneasy you felt about his impending answer. Do you think we're friends? You wrinkled your nose at the question being redirected back at you. The way Cope had asked it made you think that maybe he hadn't even questioned it before. And now, more than ever, you wondered if you should have If you should have kept quiet instead. We're friends. We're best friends. I don't know. Not really. You decide. We're besties now. I commanded. You heard Cobb shuffle around in his sleeping bag, and you looked up at the slivers of light cast upon your ceiling as you waited for him to say something. Well, there isn't somebody else that could be. Holy fuck, that fucking answer just... This is well, I mean, I guess. Not like I have a better option. Oh, fucking hell, Cobb, you're savage. So I guess we are best friends. You chuckled. The answer is just like him. Only because there isn't anyone else? No. You giggled once more, and then you let your eyes drift close, pleased that it was settled. You started when Cobb sighed deeply. You turned your head to look in his direction. In the dark, you could only see a faint outline of a lump under the covers. Cobb? What's wrong? Could you be less loud? Could you be quieter, please? Stop that. Oh, these ones are savage. I'm gonna go with what's wrong here. I can't sleep. Why not? He shifted, or at least you thought he did. You couldn't see anything since your eyes were still adjusting to the dark, but you heard his sleeping bag rustle. I want to be in my bed. Oh. Cobb sat up. Your eyes had gotten used to the low light level, so you could see him better. He got out of the sleeping bag, wobbled towards your side table, and pulled open the top drawer. What is it? I'm getting my glasses. You sat up too, watching as he reached inside. He paused for a second, then pulled his hand out. Instead of his glasses, though, he was holding a book. Cobb turned it around in his hands, trying to figure out the proper orientation of it. You knew even without reaching the title which one it was. That was one your moms would read to you. It was special. Be careful, that's mine. I thought you were looking for your glasses. What are you doing with that? I was, and I felt this. It looks cool. The compliment he afforded your special book had you grinning, your confusion forgotten. He is a gentleman of culture, of course. It's really cool. Oh yeah? What's it about? It's a story about a squire who wants to become a knight and there's magic. Does it have mermaids? No, but... of the main character, because the squire is really brave and funny. Cool pictures. Mom reads it to me. She uses different voices for every character. There's a dragon in it and crazy things happen. Those are some options. Look. We all know the saying, always be yourself, unless you can be a dragon, in which case, be a dragon. A corollary of this would be, always pick what you like, unless you can pick a dragon, in which case, pick a dragon. The squire tries to kill her because the king wants the dragon dead, so they have this fight. But the squire finds out the dragon's really nice. They decide they don't want to fight her after all, so the two of them become friends instead. Holy shit, it's a fucking bard. It's a fucking bard. Slay the dragon, not lay the dragon. Okay. Friends, you can just picture me making quotation marks with my fingers. Cobb looked excited by your words. He flicked the book over and focused at the backside summary. He must be pretty interested in it. You're reminding of the hours you spent hearing the tales. No matter how many times you read it, or had it read to you, you were still entertained by the story and pictures inside. You glanced out the window. The moon was high in the sky. It was definitely the time you were supposed to be asleep. You couldn't keep staying up. You wanted to read the book with Cobb. I mean, come on. We gotta, right? Right. You climbed out of bed and padded over to your side table. You opened it and rummaged around, pushing aside stuffed toys and crayons. Aren't they 8? Do you still use crayons at 8? Cope called out to you in a confused whisper. What are you doing? You didn't respond, letting the suspense build instead. You let out a quiet cry of victory when you found what you were looking for. You jumped back into the bed before any hidden boogeyman could catch you unaware. Cope continued to watch as you wriggled your way beneath the blanket you discarded earlier. You pulled it up over your head. What? Shh. Get under here already. Bring the book too. After a minute, the bed dipped as Cope got on it. Then the blankets shift. You fiddled with the flashlight in your crib, feeling for the switch. Fucking hell. What is it with this game and flashbanging people? Oh, fuck. I know, right? Flashbang. With a click, the small space flooded with a bright light. Cope sputtered, putting a hand up to shield himself from the beam. Move it somewhere else. Oops. You tilted the flashlight so that it shone directly on his face, giggling. Hey! You shifted again, making it shine down. You adopted an innocent expression when Cope scowled at you. Now we can read, and my moms won't know. I do this all the time. I never tried something like this before. I know, right? They're fucking adorable. And they just keep getting more and more and more adorable. I always pretend to sleep when mom or mommy check on me, and I've never been caught. It's fun. Do you want to try? Cope nodded, pleased by his straightforward response. You placed the book between you and flipped it open to the first page. Meanwhile, he laid down on his belly and shuffled closer, picking up the flashlight to shine it on the pages. His face was illuminated with a warm glow. You mirrored his position, leaning in so you could see the book better. Your foreheads brushed until you shuffled back a comfortable distance. You wanted the story to be narrated. You thought it was best to take turns reading the book silently. You flipped through the pages to show Cope cool pictures. Come on, narrate. You loved it when mommy read to you. Why not read as long as you dared this time of night? You didn't even need to study the page for long. There was once a squire who dreamed of knighthood. All they wanted was to do good. Cope was taken aback when you began to recite the words by heart. You even pronounced knighthood properly, a word which had given you grief in the past. It certainly gives my students grief. His reaction encouraged you to keep going. Soon, you get to an exciting part, the squire and the dragon's first meeting. The squire walked up to the fearsome dragon, their borrowed sword in one hand and a torch in the other. Her red scales danced in the light like flickering flames. Could you see the dragon's eyes? Do you need to get your glasses? No, my head hurts if I don't wear my glasses for a while. I can kind of see things alright, but I don't know any voices. That's okay. It's fun anyway. Let me just... Cope read the page, his mouth moving silently with the words. Eventually, he nodded to himself and spoke them out loud. Who goes there? Roared the dragon. Who dares enter my cave? It was your turn. You went into the squire's famous speech. The next time you looked up from the page, your gaze landed right on Cope. His eyes were following the text, a soft smile lighting up his features. A lock of his hair fell into his field of vision, but he gave it no notice. He was lost in the story. You started when Cope caught you watching him. He raised a questioning eyebrow. What? Nothing. Cove shot you a strange look, but he went back to the book. You did too, even as your eyelids started to droop. When your eyes opened again, your bedroom was pitch black and silent. Your head was smushed in your pillow. Your pajamas were sticking to you, and your mouth was dry. Slowly, you raised yourself onto your elbows. You yawned, the back of your throat twinging as you did. You rolled onto your side up to sit up in bed, planning on getting water from the kitchen when you saw a dark shape towering above you. You froze. Then you remembered you weren't alone in your room tonight. Cove, is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You shifted and felt something cylindrical press against your thigh. You fumbled for it, the familiar way of the flashlight pressed into your palm. You turned it on. Cove blinked at you, looking exhausted. He was in his normal clothes again, shoes and everything. His pajama pants were left on the floor, abandoned. His sleeping bag was in a similar state. What is it? Can't sleep. I keep waking up. Did you have a bad dream? He shook his head from side to side. No, just can't sleep. It's weird here. You frowned. You'd helped your moms redecorate it only a few months back. I like my room. It's not that it's bad. I just always sleep in my bed, in my room. That made things a little clearer. It wasn't anything that you'd done. Cope simply couldn't sleep in a new place. You wondered how long it took for Cope's bedroom in his new house to not be weird to him. Probably a while. I'm gonna go. What? That shook off the last of your doziness. He was going to walk outside back into his own house? This time of night? All by himself? You noted her shocked expression and looked at you with resolve. My dad will let me in, and I've gone outside late before, and I have to go. Alright, if you have to, you don't have to. I'll come with you, and I should tell my moms. What do you think? I'm thinking... Tell the moms, right? Or go with him. Go with? Alright, let's go with.
Why?
Why? I can get there myself, and then you'd have to walk to go all the way back from my house. I want us to stay together more. I think I should come anyway. I've got to make sure nothing happens to you. Okay. It's either 1 or 3. There's nothing else that we can choose. Okay? Together more or protect. Protect Kobe or stay with him more. What do you think? I've got to make sure nothing happens to you. That's a hard choice. I know, right? 3? 3? I know. Alright, let's go with 3. Hey, Java. Welcome back. Good to see you. Kobe looked at you quietly, as if contemplating something, before nodding his head. Okay. With that, Kobe casually crouched down to collect his pajama pants. You were relieved he didn't mind you coming. Are you getting the rest of your stuff too? Like your toothbrush? I don't know where my mom's put it all. No, just this. You could understand that. He didn't really need anything right now, and you could always pick up his things tomorrow. So here? That's incorrect. Pick up is a 2-word verb, and it is one that is separated into its constituent parts and has the object or the pronoun, the possessive pronoun put in between. Pick his things up tomorrow, right? Rather than pick up his things tomorrow. Pick his things up tomorrow is the correct way of putting it. Coop visited your house during the day all the time. You grabbed the flashlight and waited by the door. Soon, Cope joined you. The two of you crept out into the hallway as silently as you could. You sidestepped the loose floorboard at the end of the hall, alerting Cope to do it as well. Apart from that, you had no problems making it to the front door. Everybody was in their rooms, so the rest of the house was abandoned. It was bright outside. Bit of a continuity error, because brightly lit insides, but completely dark insides. It was brighter outside. Here some of the other neighbors had lights coming through their windows. Still, you felt better with your flashlight turned on. You pointed in the direction you were walking. There was no sound apart from the chirping of crickets and the crunch of some loose sand that got all the way up to the street from the beach. After a while, it was almost soothing. You thought back to your unlocked front door and hoped one of your moms didn't wake up. If they locked it, or checked in on you, or both, you'd be in a lot of trouble. Surprisingly, it was Cope who broke the deep silence. This was my first sleepover. Really? I've had sleepovers before. Sometimes I'll go to Grandma and Grandpa's house. Shiloh slept over a few times too. And other stuff. Cope remained quiet. The silence stretched between you, but it didn't feel awkward right now. You didn't feel the need to break it immediately. How was it? Or is it? It's not bad. I liked reading your book. You did? I kind of thought you weren't having fun. You didn't really say anything when we were eating. I didn't know what to say. Oh. Now you were the one who didn't know what to say. So you said nothing. You just lit the path ahead. The two of you kept walking side by side, your shadows stretching across the concrete. In almost no time at all, you arrived. Cope's house loomed above you. The window's dark. Mr. Holden must be sleeping, just like everyone else in your own family. Are you sure your dad's gonna open the door? Yeah, he wakes up real easily. As if to demonstrate, he rang the doorbell. A couple of minutes passed, and you wonder if Cope was wrong. Then, the front door unlocked and cracked open. Out came his dad. Oh. Oh my. Oh. We went from mommy to daddy. Okay. Alright. Mr. Holden wasn't wearing all his clothes. His hair wasn't up in his ponytail, like normal either. You felt a little bad to disturb him when he definitely had not been expecting anybody. His eyes had been narrowed into tired slits, yet they opened wide when he saw you and Cobe. Kids, what in the world are you doing? Everything okay? I couldn't sleep. Cope said my room is weird. Mr. Holden blinked, his features still twisted in panic. Then he closed his eyes and let out a deep breath. Right, well, that's a shame. Your son's done. Come on inside, son. We can talk about what happened in the morning. Okay. Cobe yawned while accepting the terms without complaint. Thank you for dropping him off, Corey. I think you'll have to be a part of the conversation tomorrow, but we'll deal with what to do next time. Oh, repeated words. Or is it on purpose? But we'll deal with what to do next time. Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely on purpose. Now, let's walk you back. It's not safe for you to be out this late by yourself. He moved to step past you, but you shook your head. I'll be fine, Mr. Holden. My honey's right here, and I have a flashlight. Mr. Holden remained where he was, his brow furrowed, and placed a hand on Cope's shoulder blade. Then I'll stand right here. Cope and I will be your lookouts. We'll close our door once we've made it back inside. You nodded your head at the compromise. Have a good night. Take care. Mr. Holden waved you off. As you turned, your eyes met Cope's, still standing beside his dad, His lip turned up the corners. He spoke in an almost whisper.
Bye.
Bye, Curry. Thanks for coming. Flashlight clutch in your hand, you jogged back over to your home. You did feel better knowing Cobb and his dad were watching to make sure nothing happened. Once you got to your front door, you glanced over to see the two waiting. You waved. Faintly, you saw Cobb way back. You quietly closed the door behind you, smiling to yourself. Then you tiptoed into your bedroom. The flashlight was returned to your drawer in its rightful place. Although Cobb had to go back home in the end, you still considered the sleepover to be quite a success. You did hope that next time he'd be able to stay the whole night, whenever next time came along. Fucking hell, this game and its insistence on flashbanging me. The next morning, you were woken by the sound of Mom's voice and a soft shake on your shoulder. Corey, wake up! It's time to get up and at him. The sun was peeking through your curtains, and you rubbed at your eyes as he adjusted to the new light. Coop's already out of bed. You blinked at her for a moment, confused, until you caught the empty sleeping bag on the ground and remembered what had happened during the night. But I didn't see him out there. I wonder where he's gone off to so early. You hesitated, giving Mom a look with your mouth hanging half open as your mind processed what to tell her.
Everything okay?
Corey, is everything alright? Cobb couldn't sleep. He said my room was weird. What? Where's Cobb now? Did he sleep on the couch? Mom was still looking at you expectantly, but as you started to explain what had happened, you were interrupted by Mommy calling from downstairs, saying Mr. Holden was at the door. You could tell by the way that Mom's forehead crinkled that she was even more concerned. When she turned to head downstairs, you pulled back the covers and jumped out of bed to follow her. Well, time to face the music, guys. Gotta do the time. Cliff, how are you? Mom joined Mommy at the door while you hovered at the bottom of the stairs and peeked around the corner. You saw Cobb's dad standing just outside. Shit. A sheepish smile on his face. He was alone, and he wondered if Cobb was alright. I don't want to alarm you both, but Cobb showed up back home in the middle of the night, and he wasn't alone. He rubbed the back of his neck anxiously. He must have felt bad about sharing the news. Mr. Holden kind of reminded you of Cobb in that moment. Your moms exchanged a matching pair of surprised looks, Mommy gasping and covering her mouth with a hand. The two of them looked your way. You quickly ducked back behind the wall. Oh my god, this is fucking adorable. Hiding behind the wall. Cobb and I made sure Corey got back safe, but Cobb wouldn't tell me what happened. I thought he might have a little more insight. We didn't hear a thing during the night. I noticed Cobb was gone just minutes before you arrived. Is he alright? We're so sorry. We'll be having a talk with Corey about this for sure. We're in trouble, guys. We're in trouble. Mr. Holden pulled his lips into a tight smile and held up his hands as if to say it wasn't their fault. He's fine. I just wanted to find out more before having another talk with him. I should have known he wasn't ready to spend the night at someone else's house. You felt bad for Mr. Holden. He looked so sad. They discussed the event for a little bit longer. Your parents promising to call him if they found out more, and when Mr. Holden finally said goodbye, you heard Mom calling your name. Shit, guys, we're in trouble. Immediately you panicked, wondering that you should find somewhere to hide, because that'll work. There was a growing sense of dread in your stomach that you were about to get into a lot of trouble. Your moms found you eventually, but you were relieved to say they didn't look very angry. They did, however, look very, very worried.
That's ridiculous.
What were you thinking, Curry? Why didn't you tell us something was wrong? Why did you leave the house? It's just across the street, come on. What's the worst that could happen? She said, knowing. You took the ground in front of you, refusing to look at them. I'm sure you were just trying to help him, but you know it's dangerous to go outside at night without a parent, right? Don't you? Nothing your head, you couldn't do much more than listen as your parents explained how dangerous it had been for you and Cobb to wander over to his house on your own. Personally, you didn't think it was that bad, since Cobb only lived across the road, but you didn't tell your moms that. Yeah, I don't think that would help. You were already in enough trouble as it was, so when they asked you to promise not to tell them something like that next time, you nodded your head in agreement. Even though it was a little unfair, you accepted the punishment that you weren't allowed to have any sleepovers until you could prove to your moms that you were responsible enough. Okay, fair enough. You were determined to show them that you could be trusted. When you saw Cobb next, he was sorry you had gotten in trouble. After hearing a similar lecture, Cobb got away with a warning from his dad. Mr. Holden felt that negative experience was enough already, and Cobb didn't need additional punishments. In the end, the two of you and your parents were eventually able to move past the ill-fated sleepover. It had all been a learning experience, according to the adults. You could accept that. There were definitely things you learned from it. And hopefully, one day, you and Cobb would finally be able to have a successful sleepover. Knowing what I know now about where this game goes, yeah, there's a very successful sleepover. Yep, super successful. Did you guys know there's a not safe for work or streaming DLC? There's a not safe for work DLC for this game, so yeah, successful sleepover. Oh shit. What do you think, guys? Shopping, library, ghost, barbecue, long day, sandcastle, or fireflies? They're all good, being honest. Though I do plan to leave Ghost as the last one. I think Long Day, if memory serves, is about them being bored. It was another scorching summer day. The kind where no sooner had you finished the 1 cup of water, you were already filling it up again. Everyone else had something on. Something on, or something going on? So that afternoon it was just you and Shiloh. Oh, Shiloh. I don't like Shiloh. So, that afternoon, it was just you and Shiloh. This didn't happen much, especially since Cobb had arrived. Without Lizzie around, Shiloh looked to you for all the answers. Actually, let me rephrase. I don't like Shiloh in this stage. Stage 2 or 3, I don't remember which one. I like Shiloh then. It made you feel pleased, frustrated, or nothing really that Shiloh looked up to you when Lizzie wasn't around. What do you think, guys? I would say nothing, really. Yeah, nothing. Shiloh went along with whatever he wanted, so he wasn't a bother, but he also wasn't that much fun. You drained yet another drink and found the empty bed. The empty vessel. Your thirst was... Oh, I forgot to save. Your thirst was gone, but you still crave something icy cold and refreshing. Something sweet. Something like a popsicle, an ice cream cone, or an ice cream sandwich. Okay, guys. Okay. One of the most important choices in the visual novel. What do you say? Popsicle, ice cream cone, or ice cream sandwich? By the way, there is only one correct option. There is an objectively correct option. I am glad that Trekkie, that you have already arrived to the correct option. Good to hear. I'm glad. One moment. Okay. Damage. Yeah. All right. Let's go with the sandwich, aka the correct option. You craved soft ice. Okay. You craved soft ice cream sandwich between two cookies. There was nothing like that to be found at home. You need that without needing to look. Your moms didn't keep sweets in the house. Outside, there were plenty of places where such goodies could be obtained. But they were shops and demanded payment in exchange for their products. You sighed. You voiced your predicament out loud. You asked Shiloh for help. I would never ask for help here. I have issues with asking for money. Go figure. And this, you voice your predicament out loud, simply sounds like passive-aggressive asking for help with money. So you sighed. As much as you really wanted that treat, it wasn't going to happen. What's wrong? I want an ice cream sandwich. Shiloh, who had been draped over the sofa, perked up.
Yeah.
That sounds good. We don't have any here, and I don't have any money. Fuck, we don't. Fuck, we don't. We have $20. Cope's dad gave us $20. We haven't spent that. Shiloh. Oh, let me check if I have any. Shiloh rummaged in his backpack and proudly produced an assortment of coins, plus one stray button. He set the button aside and counted the coins in neat piles. Just over $1. You announced it to Shiloh. He had almost certainly come to the same conclusion, but he'd been watching you expectantly. It's not enough. It's a start. Let's go with it's a start. No, obviously the right solution is to go sell Shiloh for ice cream money. No, we're not doing that, Trekkie. That is bad. Shiloh beamed at you. We'll need to find some more. Okay. The two of you lifted couch cushions, stuck tiny hands down deep crevices in the sofa and under furniture, and scoured the back of drawers. So here's the thing. I know where you can find some, probably. Your mom's room. Go there. Don't actually do that. Okay. Most of what you found was useless or gross. Bent paper clips. No. Bent paper clips are not useless. You can take them, pick the neighbor's locks, steal the neighbor's money, and voila, you have ice cream money. fluffy wisps of dust, or sandy crumbs. But every so often, one of you would strike silver or bronze and add it to the growing pile of coins. I'm pretty sure that coins are mostly made of nickel and, bronze or copper. Definitely not silver. The lowest denomination of silver is a silver dollar, which is $1. You might wander to the $20 bill tucked away in your room. Hey, there we go. It was enough for you and Shiloh to get whatever you wanted and more, but you didn't take it out. That was too special to hand over so freely. Besides, somehow I think my idea is better. No, it is not. It's bad, okay? Bad, Trekkie. Besides, Shiloh would be curious about where it came from and might even mention your wealth to Lizzie. The exchange had been a secret. Smart girl. Dusty and disheveled from checking every room and squinting into every tiny nook, the two of you finished pulling your finds. Shiloh held his breath as you counted the coins once again. $2.53 and 2 buttons. You didn't know when the second button had decided to join the party, but you were pleased to find with your successful haul to throw it out. Is that enough? You figured he knew the answer without looking for it to you for confirmation, but the thrill of your success and the reward that would follow cancelled out any other feelings you might have had about that. Yeah, you could now afford something at the shops, just one thing, but that was infinitely better than none. Shiloh clapped his hands. Yay! The two of you dashed outside. The promise of sugar buoyed you onto your destination where, breathless but happy, you stared at the overwhelming number of options. You knew what you wanted, but it wasn't just you who had contributed to the funds to get the treat. You seemed to notice your pause. Are you getting an ice cream sandwich? Shiloh asked as though he was entirely separate from the decision, rather than someone with a stake in the outcome. Do you mind? Shiloh cocked his head to the side. It was your idea. You should choose. You tried to get something you both wanted. Are you really sure it's okay? My sense of fairness would demand that I try this first. It wasn't fair for you to be the only one to decide, but he'd been a main factor in making this happen. Some of the money came directly from his backpack. What do you like? All of them. They're so good. You pressed further. But what do you really like? Popsicles or ice creams? Which is your favorite? What? Ice cream? Yeah, okay, fine. It's so hard to pick. I don't know. Frustrated, you got to the heart of the matter. You want me to choose?
Yeah.
And that was that. You got the dessert you wanted originally and hoped Shiloh would actually like it too. Finally, the reward for all your hard work was in your hands. You bit the ice cream sandwich. The chewy chocolate biscuit complemented the creamy vanilla ice cream inside. You held it out to Shiloh so he could take a turn. He shook his head.
You can finish it.
This is part of the reason Shiloh frustrates me. He didn't want any? After everything he did to help get it? That was weird. You tried to include Shiloh. Even if Shiloh said it was okay, every story you'd ever seen on TV or read in a book said that sharing was caring. You stood your ground, even as the treat started to trickle dangerously towards your fingers. It's only fair that you have some. We both bought it. But you wanted more than I do, and getting to play was a lot of fun already, so you can have it. That's more fair. I remember now why I dislike Shiloh. He frustrates me. You held it out to him. I want you to have some even more than I want to finish it, so eat your part. Relenting, Shiloh took the treat and gave it a taste. His eyes lit up.
Thank you.
It's really good, thank you. See? Was that so hard, Shiloh? Was that so fucking hard? You smiled, pleased with your good deed. You picked the best one. Yes, I did. I absolutely did. I will say that is accurate. Did he mean that? Shiloh was always nice no matter what happened, even if he hated it. You knew he wouldn't say no. Maybe he thought it was gross and that's the real reason why he didn't want to take some. You had no idea. You studied him as he ate a little more. He had every appearance of enjoying himself. So weird. The two of you began to head back home as he ate. You walked side by side on the shore in silence, but your thoughts kept drifting to the boy beside you. Why didn't he speak up for himself? It was almost as if Shiloh didn't know how to say what he felt, or was too afraid to. You figured that was his problem and didn't care. Are you scared of me? You thought that was kind of sad. Are we friends? What do you think, guys? I think I'll go with a second. With are we friends? Or are you scared of me? Tough. Shiloh opened his eyes wide, seemingly caught off guard by the blunt question. No way. But you don't tell me things like what you want to do or what treat we should get. That's not because I'm scared, it's because you have better ideas than I do. Holy shit, this kid needs some self-esteem. He frustrates me, but now I feel bad for him. Unfortunately, this was yet another thing you couldn't entirely believe Shiloh on. You hoped it was true, and that he really did feel okay around you though. Shiloh made you unsure about setting a label on the experience of spending an afternoon with just him. There had been good times, and there had been confusing ones. You're positive of one thing at least. The treat was delicious, and that was nice. The sun was low on the horizon, and you returned to your neighborhood, where you spotted two very familiar figures up ahead, Lizzie and Cobb. You opened your mouth to make your presence known to them just as you saw the tears on Cobb's face. Oh, sorry, the fuck did you do to our boy? Lizzie, the fuck you do to our boy? You walked straight over, Shiloh at your heels. Once there, you defended Cobb, took a moment to take a joke, accused Lizzie of causing trouble, carefully asked about what happened. Okay, so I know I was already ready to blame Lizzie. However, I would like to believe that I will be tactful about it and so carefully ask about what happened. Without a time machine, the only way you were going to find out was by asking the witnesses. Lizzie might have done something, but she could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, or even come to Cobb's aid. You wanted to hear the story. Cobb, what happened? Corey, I got yelled at. He took a deep, steadying breath. Some grandparents got mad at me. Oh, sorry. Lizzie jerked her head in the direction of a nearby house. Your heart sank. Your heart sunk or sank? I'm pretty sure it sank, with sunk being the past participle, and sunk being the simple past. I've sunk many ships. My ship sank. Sank. It should be sank. Every year, the same mean old couple rented out that condo for the summer. You, Lizzie, and Shiloh knew to stay away from them, but Cobb couldn't have. They're like that with everyone. Even your mom struggled to find anything nice to say about them. But the elderly pair particularly took offense to kids. It didn't matter if they were really nice like Cobb. Okay. Yeah. Lisa said.
Uh-huh.
Shit.
Uh-huh.
I was helping. That's cool. Is there anything I can do? What the fuck, Shiloh? That's school? Alright, whatever. No, I'm just gonna stay away. Or you could teach them a lesson. There was a devilish smile in her, glint in her eyes. What? You should ding dong ditch them. Go ring the doorbell and run. It'll be great because they're so slow. They'll never catch you. That's dumb. I don't want to go near them ever again. You're saying that because you're a cluck cluck chicken.
Chicken.
Fuck, them's fighting words, guys. Them's fucking fighting words. And they're shitty old people, neighbors. Cobb glared but didn't take the bait. Lizzie turned to you. You're not a chicken, are you? Yeah, cluck cluck. You would rather just avoid them. You thought the deserved worse. You scratched up your nose in disgust as you shook your head. As pranks go, it was pretty weak. They would answer the door to find nothing there. So what? It would be sort of annoying, but they seemed like the kind of people that would be irritated by about anything. If they were going to open the door, there should be something bad there. Okay. That would be letting them off too easy. You felt 3 pairs of eyes staring at you, but you were studying your surroundings thoughtfully. There wasn't much around that they might dislike. Inspiration came crawling towards you in the form of a roly-poly bug. Carefully, you lowered your hand and let it clamber onto your palm. That should do it. You had never met an adult who appreciated bugs. Let's ding dong ditch and bug them.
Yeah.
See? The right option. We'll go hide. Run as soon as you hit the bell. Good luck. Lizzie and Shiloh ran across the road to take shelter in the bushes. Even once they settled down, you could make out 2 child-sized shapes staring from between the leaves. Not a good hiding spot, huh? Okay, that's fine. You knew where to look for them, though, and so you told yourself the grouchy old people wouldn't spot it. Cobb sighed. His gaze flicked into the house and then back to you. Be careful. As if they could keep up. He kept the door and you one last look before joining Lizzie and Shiloh in their hideaway. The weight of 3 pairs of eyes on your back was heavier than anything you'd carried before. As you approached the door, you stared down at the little bug still wriggling in your closed hand and carefully placed it on the ground where it could be seen, but off and off to the side so it wouldn't be stepped on. Good. You wrung it. I'm pretty sure the simple past of ring is rang rather than wrong. I have to check. You slapped the buzzer and ran. Blood thumped against your eardrums with every step. Would you make it in time? Approaching the hiding spot, you knew that there wasn't time to go around the bushes as the others had done. You took a shortcut, leaping over them. Or to be more accurate, crashing into the tops of the bushes and then falling over to the other side. Alright, fine. That's funny. Cobb quietly hissed as you unwittingly colliding into him, but by the way his arms were out, it seemed he had intentionally tried to cushion your landing. Aww, that's sweet. Shh! Lizzie put a finger to her lips and nodded at the house. You disentangled your lips from Cove's and spun around to see the old man framed in the doorway, peering back and forth suspiciously. You covered your mouth with your hands, but it wasn't enough to stifle your giggles. Maybe he spotted one of you, or maybe it was the leaves you displaced while jumping. But he locked eyes with the bush and stormed over in your direction. Shiloh gasped and looked to Lizzie. Run! Yeah, you gotta run. Your sister did not hesitate to take her own advice. Neither did Shiloh. You got up, but seeing Cove struggling to extract himself and stand up with just the one fully functional arm, you gave him a hand up before taking off after the others. As you made your escape, you thought to yourself that he didn't even notice the bug. What a rude old man. Didn't even notice the bug. The old man's hollers propelled you all from the street to the sanctity of the hill. Only once you were safe did you notice the stitch in your chest and the ache of your legs. You flopped down, the blades of grass tickling your face. Lizzie, who had taken the lead in the end, was already lazing on the ground. The four of you took a moment to catch your breath and enjoy the feeling of cool grass against your skin.
Cove.
Hey, Cove. Cove tilted his head. I told you there were mean grandparents around here. Cove rolled his eyes, then decided this wasn't dismissive enough and rolled his old body away from your sister. Lizzie chose to ignore his response and started chatting with Shiloh, who eagerly joined in the conversation. In the back of your mind, you knew you'd be second fiddle to Shiloh once Lizzie came around. It always went like that. And it was fine, you thought. You still felt a little sad after how much time you spent together today, and it was always annoying. I mean, it's fine. Shiloh could prefer Lizzie as much as he wanted to. There were other things to attend to anyway, like Cove. You wriggled closer to Cove. He had calmed down for the most part and was inspecting a flower. His fingers pinched the stem until he tilted the white petals towards him. That's a poppy? They just fucking casually have poppy flowers here? Okay. Cool. No, that's cool. That's fine. Just casually having poppy flowers in their backyard. Okay. Man, their teenage years are gonna be wild, I imagine. Huh. Cope glanced at you in acknowledgement, then back to the flower. And the type of poppies in this hill have the name White Linen Poppy. Mom told me. He quirked a smile. That's funny. He ran a finger around the edge of the petals. It doesn't feel like cloth. You need a lot of them to make anything. He nodded and released the delicate plant. Evaluation complete. This is my favorite kind of flower, but I didn't know what it was called. Thanks. Oh, fuck. That's a lot of flowers. Don't care what flowers. I like all them. Type 1, orchids, tulips, sunflowers. However you pronounce peonies, hibiscuses, snapdragons, buttercups, and roses. I'm sorry about poppies. Maybe we'll make opium in a step or two. Cove's smile widened as he looked at you. Cool. You moved onto your back with a small smile and looked at the darkening sky. The blanket of clouds reminded you of a thick throw you curled under on cold, rainy days. You wondered if the clouds would be as soft. They lazily floated by, splitting from each other, merging and morphing into new shapes. You saw a dolphin, a car, an alpaca, a smiley face, or cloud shapes. What do you think, guys? I've never been good at seeing shapes in clouds. I just see cloud shapes. I think that I'll go with cloud shapes. He nudged Cove and pointed at the sky. What does that look like? Cove looked up at the sky, angling his head back to the side. Back into the side. Finally, he shook his head.
Huh?
I don't see anything. Really? Really? What do you see? I like my character. Clouds. He chuckled at that. As all the sun's light faded from the sky and the moon rose higher, Lizzie got to her feet, dusting strands of grass from her bare legs, and surveyed her surroundings. The ocean, visible from the crest of the hill, beckoned with every sweep of the tide. Let's go to the beach. There was no argument from the other two. Shiloh was still Shiloh, and Cove would never say no to going to the shore. He was a child of the sea. You wanted to go there too, were too tired to argue, were happy to do what the others wanted. Too tired to argue. It's the night. It'd been too long. It'd been a long and hot day. You weren't bothered about going there, but you would rather do that than make a scene. Hey, Sandcastle. You stepped into the sun for the second time that day, but it felt different at night. The beach was nearly quiet at this hour. Abandoned sandcastles and footsteps in the sand, too big to belong to any of you, were the only indication of how busy it had been only hours earlier. The four of you kicked shoes off and removed socks and walked along the water's edge. The waves tickled your feet. I wonder what would happen if you tried to take a bath in the ocean with a shampoo and everything. It just wouldn't get very clean. That would be bad for the fish. I
Jeez.
didn't say anyone would do it. Jeez, you don't have to be serious about everything. You're the one who asked what would happen. That is what would happen. It hurt the fishes. Fishies. I like bubble butts at home. They're a lot of fun. Me too. Bubble butts are luxurious. You'd never heard Lizzie use that word before. Mommy loves to have bubbles in her bath. She'll turn the lights off and have candles. I'm gonna do that next time. Hey, when's your mom coming to pick you up anyway? Not for a while. She's busy. What about your dad? How come you never talk about him? Nobody does. Don't you know you're not supposed to ask something like that? Why would somebody want to talk about something they never talk about? Keep your eyes on the ground, watching your toes get swallowed by waves. Even if Shiloh never seemed upset when the topic came up, it made you feel awkward just for having both of your moms. Fair enough. It's okay. I'm like Lizzie and Corey. I don't have a dad. We don't have two moms. I just have one. She's really great. Oh, sorry. I only have one now, too. My mom isn't here. She's back home. It's just my dad with me.
Sorry.
I never had a dad or anything, so I don't feel bad. It's really sad that your mom is gone, though. Cove nodded. You joked about Shiloh's mom getting together with Cove's dad. Even if they're all different, our parents are good in their own ways. It didn't say anything. Interesting. think I'm gonna go with... It didn't say anything. You couldn't come up with something you thought would make the conversation any less awkward, so you kept quiet. It was safer that way. The silence broke with a splash as Lizzie kicked in your direction. Cold water and sudden sand splattered against your legs. Lizzie giggled, foot still stretched from the kick. Cope joined in, striking the incoming waves to make a splash of his own. Shiloh scurried out of Cope's spray zone with a grin. We retaliated, of course. You used your foot to smack the water pooling around you, sending an arc of sea foam flying back onto your sister. You laughed as she spluttered, some of the salty seawater having landed in her mouth. She spat it out. Yuck. Lizzie chased you, intent on revenge. You dashed up and down the coast, taking it in turns to be the predator and the prey, as well as joining forces to take down Shiloh and Cope. Alliances were silently forged and wordlessly broken. Everything was fair game in war. Ah! Shiloh's brief exclamation was drowned out by the biggest splash yet, caused by him falling face first into the ground. That would have been bad enough, without the wave that followed, cascading over his prone body. That's funny. Shiloh sat up, shaking his head like a dog coming from in from the rain. As you all hurried over to check on him, his hair was plastered to his head, and his soaked clothes clung. If there was any part of him that was still dry, you couldn't see it. That was crazy, are you okay? Yeah, my foot gets stuck and I fell over.
You dumbo.
Where'd you go, Shiloh, you dumbo? Holy shit, Lizzie, he's your friend. You offered him some help up. Shiloh didn't take your outstretched hand. After a moment, you dropped it. Wow, Shiloh, fuck you, I guess. Lizzie was too busy snickering to notice, and held her hand out to Shiloh, too. He reached over and took it. Slowly, he started to pull himself from the ground. Then he slipped on the slick sand, dragging him and Lizzie down just in time for another whip to hit. The water rolled over them.
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. What were the odds of that happening twice in a row? You thought they must be low. But there was no way Shiloh would do something like that on purpose, then pretend it was an accident. Especially not to Lizzie. Even if your relationship with Shiloh felt unclear, he did at least like her a lot. Lizzie was his favorite, right? Smiling boldly, Lizzie extracted herself from the ground and wiped a streak of sand from her cheek. She didn't intend to let this embarrass her. Shiloh got up again, as well. This time without incident. He still looked like a drowned puppy, but didn't stop Cove laughing at the two of them. With that, it was time to call it a day. The four of you drudgingly made your way back home, leaving only a trail of wet footsteps and sand in your wake, as your damp clothes weighed the group down. Your moms were outside, chatting to Cope's dad. We're back. Your mom's faces fell as they took in the state you were all in, ranging from messy to soaked.
No.
Elizabeth, is that all you have to say for yourself? You brought half the beach back with you. They certainly did. What's Marigold going to do when she comes to get Shiloh? Is that how you want him to be for the long drive home? Cold and filthy? Lizzie's expression turned sulky over the scolding. Being the oldest could be fun, but it also meant she was the first to get in trouble when something went wrong. Fuck the police. Or in this case, the parents. Mr. Holding, on the other hand, chuckled as he ruffled Cobe's matted hair. You've been out making memories, bucko. I'm glad you had a good time with your friends. Kobe used his slightly moist cast arm to push it Excuse me, maybe I'm forgetting something, but aren't you supposed to never get casts wet? That's like a thing, right? You're supposed to keep casts dry, like to the point that you're supposed to shower with a plastic bag over the cast so that it doesn't get wet. I thought that was a thing, right? Mr. Holden says widen. Oh, never mind. When he noticed, even that had gotten wet. Now he was worried too. I think they could have found a less risky way to spend time. Oh, the mommy voice. I think they could have found a less risky way to spend time and had just as much fun. That's right. That might be right, kids. What can you do? Come on, Cope. Let's go get you cleaned up and dried off. We wouldn't want that cast to have to be reset.
Okay.
Cope winced at the thought. Okay. Attaboy. Mr. Holden casually bent down and plucked Cope up off the ground, ultimately holding Cope against his chest. Sand was already transferring from Cope onto him, but that didn't seem to bother Mr. Holden. Cope protested being carried, but only got a reassuring pat on the back for his trouble.
Take care.
Good night, Cope. Thank you for the talk, Cliff. Night, McClan family, and Shiloh too. Resigned to his fate, Cope twisted his body in his dad's arms in order to turn around and wave goodbye. You beamed as you reached up and waved your hand in the air. Good night.
Fine,
Well,
fine.
we'd better do what we can to fix you guys up too. Come on, everybody inside. I want you to march straight into the downstairs bathroom. Yes, Mom. Okay, Liz's mom. Oh shit. Don't worry about stopping to wipe your feet on the mat this time. That won't do much tonight. Sitting on the beach towel your mommy had found, you waited in the hall until you were less sandy. You weren't allowed to go to your room or walk around the house. But you did get to eat a sandwich for dinner there. It felt like an indoor picnic. It had to be decided that Shiloh would wash first and borrow some of your clothes. He was already finished and packed away in his mom's car. Miss Fields had come to collect him a little while ago. It was a bit of a funny experience, seeing him without that hat for once. Lizzie, being much more soaked than you, got to go in the tub next. It wasn't a bubble bath, as she had hoped. This was a no fun allowed cleanup session. At least that's what she claimed. Not much longer and it would be your turn. When the bath was done, you'd have to go right to bed. After a day like this, you were glad that there weren't going to be any further events. Drifting off to sleep sounded like a great idea. Alright, you guys. That's another moment done. What's next? Shopping, sandcastle, or fireflies, or library, or barbecue? Tough choice, tough choice. I think I will go with shopping, or fireflies, or sandcastle. Cope wasn't able to do many things that summer. When him and Shiloh set out on the shoreline one bright morning, you could tell he wanted to be in the water. But there was no way he'd be swimming anytime soon, not with that cast. The waves washed a single shell to the shore, glittering and blue. Another reminder of the places he couldn't go. From what you'd heard about Cope's old life so far, In tiny pieces and fragments, you could tell that he'd do anything to be able to get that cast off. Even cut it off himself, if he could. You thought about how his summer last year must have been totally different from this, with his old home and his mom and dad. But now he was here, with you and Shiloh and Lizzie and everyone else, and he couldn't even go in the sea. The town wasn't that bad. It had all your favorite things in it, but sitting there on the same beach you'd grown up on, you could understand that not everybody else felt the same way about Sunset Bird as you did. You watched him from the corner of your eye quietly, and he finally said aloud what you had been pondering. I wish I could go in. The water? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. You're gonna be able to do it soon. Cove only sighed in response. Apparently, soon wasn't soon enough. Ah, it's so pretty, the ocean. And huge. There could be anything out there, like mermaids. Yeah. It'd be cool if there were mermaids. Kinda. I wish you didn't have a cast. I don't really care. Swimming might be fun if we could. I'm fine here on land. Rabbits aren't real. I think. I wish you didn't have a cast. Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Obviously not interested in hearing much more of your input on the situation, Cope turned back to the water. But as he looked away, something about Shiloh's slow, careful movements caught his eye. Hey, are you building a sandcastle? Sort of. I was only playing around while you were talking. I'm listening. Maybe I could too. I've only made big piles before. It's really nothing special. I'm sure you'll be good at it right away. Good grief, Shiloh. Well, how do you do it then? Shiloh's cheeks lit up. You could tell he was a little bit uncomfortable to have Cope's expectant stare on him. I'll play too. I love making sand stuff. I never really made one before. There's nothing else to do. I love playing with sand. Okay. He put his hands back to his seashells and sand and nodded. I don't do a lot. Here's how I like to get a house started. Shiloh, focusing more intently than you'd ever seen before, guided Cope through the process. You happily used your own method. It didn't take long for the three of you to each have humble structures prepared. That's all, kind of. You can do anything now. Like make it bigger, add some seashells, carve a pretty pattern. I bet you'll have great ideas.
okay.
I'm gonna make it bigger. Mine is gonna be a real castle.
Cool.
Cool. This is gonna be a house. Looking at the base of your sandcastle, you decided to make a house, a castle, a mansion. Think I'll go with a mansion. Looking at the base of your sandcastle, you decided to do what Lizzie would do and design a mansion. The better part of the next hour was spent focusing on your own work. The boys were the same. Even Shiloh didn't sneak as many peeks at everyone else as he usually did. You finished shaping before either of them did, glancing up from what you'd built. It seems you got done so fast because they'd already searched around for extra decorations. Shiloh had grabbed most of the really interesting stuff, and Cope had a lot of shells. But there were still options. The first thing you reached was red bottle cap, blue seashell, green piece of sea glass. Interesting. Red, come on. It was the best fit for your mansion, you decided. And it seemed like the lid from the sports drink that Lizzie was trying to convince her moms to let her try. So you displayed it in front of the center, making it a headlining feature of your whole thing. Pleased with the result, you finally took a proper look around that wasn't focused on the sign itself. Both Cove and Shiloh seemed super immersive. You knew you could probably sneak a peek at either one's work. You checked in Cove's sandcastle, you checked out Shiloh's sandhouse. Curiosity, thy name is Cat. The castle Cove had built looked surprisingly tidy, especially for someone in a cast. He must have worked really hard. He wasn't even finished dragging up the huge gaping moat in front, but it was already enormous. You got the sense from the enthusiasm he was digging with that the doctor was probably going to find a bunch of sand when he finally removed the pink plaster. The silence was then broken. "What's on the top of yours, Shiloh?" You peeked closer and discovered something shiny sticking out of Shiloh's sand chimney. "Oh, it's just a gum wrapper. It looks like smoke."
Neat.
"It's good, that's smart." "Yeah, I didn't think of that. Oh, I guess I don't see it. You should be an architect." Let's hype up Shiloh. Kid could use some extra self-esteem. "You'd be good at this, Shiloh." Shiloh smiled without a word, and was that for the current topic. "Cory, can I see what you did?" "Sure." He scooted just a bit nearer and began surveying your work. All you really knew about mansions was that they were supposed to be big, so you got really big. It was the size of the country club that Lizzie played golf at, and compared to Cove and Shiloh's buildings, probably even bigger. Ah, shit. Shiloh quickly decided to jump in the new conversation. "Hey Cory, what did you do?" "It's a mansion." Cove scowled for a moment. Apparently, the anger was actually still there after his argument with Lizzie more than a week ago. "It looks great. Your house is so big." "Thanks." "You're welcome. I don't think that's the same as a house." "Huh? Is being a house bad?"
No.
"No, but we each made our own place. Nobody is the same." "I think we are." Cove raised an eyebrow at that. If something is the only one of that thing, that makes it special. Yeah, for sandcastles and stuff. People too. My dad always says how everybody is their own man. A real individual. I don't think I'm very special. Good grief, kid. The fuck is your mom doing to you? Or your dad, I guess. Maybe that's why you don't have a dad.
Why?
Why not? Nobody else is you. Shiloh simply shook his head. "I'm not different." A beat passed between the two. Cove then looked down at his own work again. Okay. He didn't seem to be bothered leaving the disagreement hanging there. Cove had other things on his mind. "My dad tried to get me to make a sandcastle the first time we came to this beach. I didn't want to." Cove trailed off again. There was another moment of silence. Shiloh shifted and opened his mouth to say something, but Cove spoke up before he could. You didn't think he noticed that Shiloh was going to talk. "Hey, do you know what happened when your mom sued my dad, Cory?" You cocked your head, thinking about it briefly. "I wasn't there. They didn't tell me." "I just remember what happened when I met your dad. Mr. Holden had been a weird stranger then. Well, it was still kind of strange. No other parent acted like him. But you knew him better at this point?" Now that you thought about it, it made a lot of sense that Cove's dad talked to him about people being unique. You were pulled from your thoughts when Cove continued. "Oh, well, I was there. I don't think my mom has met your dad." "Yeah, I'm pretty sure she hasn't. Cory's parents and my dad's met the same day I met her. I'm gonna say what happened." Shiloh frowned to himself, ducking his head. His hat cast a shadow over his face. You could still tell he was upset at not being included in Cove's choice of topic. That was kind of boring for him, though giving people their own turn to say the things they want is important too. You stayed silent and let Cove finish his story. Shiloh could talk about stuff after Cove had a chance to share what he planned on. When we moved here, we didn't bring a lot of things with us, only some stuff that would fit in Dad's car. We didn't even get a moving truck. I sat in there while Dad broke it all inside. I didn't want to get out because I knew that would make me look around that new house. I really didn't want to do that. His lips twisted into a frown as he recalled that. Then I saw your moms. They were in a car too and stopped at your house. I guess they were coming back from somewhere or something. My dad noticed. He waved his hand, then went over to the front of your house where he started talking to them. I didn't know what they said. I couldn't hear it. But he couldn't see me anymore as he was looking the other way. So I opened the car door and left. I wanted to get away and went behind the houses. I found those hills there, the ones where we met for the first time. Cove nodded, then stared at you. You stared back. I didn't go on to say anything more. What? That's all you wanted to say? Cove's brow wrinkled, like he didn't understand why you were surprised.
Huh?
That's all that happened. Why did you tell the story if nothing happened? You're really good. Gotta get better at telling stories. That was a pretty bad story. Thanks for telling me. I'm okay. I think I'll go with thanks for telling me. You're welcome. Even if not much happened, you weren't gonna complain about knowing the story. Shiloh's mouth twisted into a skull of disbelief, but he said nothing. Why'd you bring that up anyway? There was a slight shrug to Cove's shoulders.
Well...
I was thinking about it because of the sandcastle stuff. It made me remember when I moved to here. Dad showed me the beach first, before we went back to the car to unpack. He was really excited about it for some reason. Cove's brows furrowed a little more as he quietly raked his hand through the sand. I get it. You thought maybe Mr. Holden wasn't that excited about the beach, and was instead hoping Cove might be. But the line of conversation had come to an end. Even Cove was done with it. Some other topic had popped into his head. Shiloh fidgeting uncomfortably in the sand had made Cove aware of his presence again. They looked at each other and you could only wonder what this might be about. Hey, Shiloh? Yeah? Why are you always turning so red? Oh my god, Cove. Even when nothing is happening. Clearly startled, he jerked back. Neither you or Shiloh had expected that to be how he got included in the conversation again. I don't know, I guess. Okay, it's kind of weird. Shiloh's eyes were wide with embarrassment, and his lips twitched, and he was blushing even harder than before. Maybe it wasn't only this. Perhaps it was simply the last straw, but it was a big deal to Shiloh, a huge deal. He didn't just look sad. He seemed almost panicked. You weren't sure if he was about to cry or run away or what, but you soon got an answer. Why do you wear glasses? Most kids don't wear glasses, and nobody is named Cove.
Who asked you to come?
Who asked you to come? It was probably just your dad bugging Corey's family some more because you don't have anyone else who'll ever play with you. Holy shit, Shiloh. What the fuck? That's fucked up. Cove blinked. The tension on the beach was suddenly uncomfortable in a way you didn't know how to move past. It didn't seem like the kind of thing you'd get upset about, though you hadn't ever known what kind of thing would bother Shiloh. I'm sorry. Me too. I was just wondering. Let's build another sandcastle, play on your own. Are we gonna build more? Let's go with are we gonna build more? You wanna keep building sandcastles? Yeah, okay. Cope glanced at Shiloh, whose smile hadn't returned to full power. Then at you. Alright. What a relief. You were glad it was settled. Hey Derpy Derp. Welcome back. It's good to see you. I haven't been here for a long time. Yeah. Took a little bit of a break. Because of work and stuff. Well, good to see you back. I'm playing my favorite visual novel, which isn't saying much, because I've only ever played like Girlfriend of Steel and Bible Black. So like, and this one, right? So still, it's my favorite. Really love this PN and want to see you interact with it. I'm happy to know that you're familiar with it. I fucking love it. I played it up all the way to step 3, part of step 3, but I've never finished it. Step 4 wasn't out when I played it, nor was the wedding DLC. And Not Safe for Work DLC came out, but I never played it. What a relief! You were glad it was settled. I was a patron for it, so I got the DLC, and the Not Safe for Work DLC. I need to find it because I know I have it, but I don't know where I put it. You all went back to making more sand buildings, but the whole mood had changed. Shiloh's cheeriness was clearly gone, and Cope looked as confused as ever about why the other boy had blown up. Same, to be honest, never really finished it considering the ending wasn't out all the time. Yep, pretty much. Same here. I don't remember what. I think the DLC for Step 3 wasn't out, and it was just the first 4 basic moments. You didn't have the DLCs? Nice, you're in for a treat. Have you played any of the DLC? The air stayed uncomfortable the rest of the afternoon, right up to the moment that Shiloh's mom appeared at the beach to take him home. At least you tried to do something to resolve it, though, and it seemed to have helped. Even though Shiloh's smile when he said goodbye to Cope wavered, it stayed as bright as ever for you. That had to count for something. So you led the way on the path back home. The walk home was quiet. You passed by a familiar landmarks, shoes thumping against the sidewalk, in near perfect unison. Cope was clearly caught up in thinking about something. You asked what he was thinking. You stayed silent. You asked, of course you ask. You didn't want to leave it hanging in the air, so you decided to just ask. Why are you making that face? Oh, I was just wondering. Cope fell silent again for a few more seconds, then sighed. What Shiloh eyed like that? When I said he was red a lot. You were being rude to him, who was being a baby, should make fun of him. I know, it's just Shiloh. He gets embarrassed. Let's go with he gets embarrassed. Eventually I did play the DLCs, with the DLCs enabled, but the first few times I didn't. See, this one just completely got me. So like, as soon as I started playing it, I bought the DLCs. Like I had to. And yeah, our life, Always and Forever, right? I played the demo. It's actually what got me back into playing this one again. The demo, holy shit, it's so good. Like, this is good, but Always and Forever looks to like it's going to be so fucking amazing. I'm impressed. I really am. Which is saying a lot because I was already really quite impressed with this one. Embarrassed, but didn't say anything that bad. Although, I will say, it's not exactly a sequel. As from what I can tell, it's more of a like it's happening around the same time because you meet Baxter in Always and Forever. Baxter's there. You talk to him when you were like 6 years old. You meet 6-year-old Baxter. It might have upset him anyway. Oh, wait, what? Embarrassed, but it didn't say anything that bad. Oh, it might have upset him anyway. I guess I can get it. Why he would do that? Sometimes I get really mad too. Despite everything coming to a conclusion, Cobb's mood was still sour. Hey, Curry. Was Shiloh telling the truth? Huh? His gaze left yours as he dug the sole of his shoe into the ground. He looked oddly vulnerable for a second. Does my dad make you hang out with me? I know he talks to your moms about that a lot. An uncomfortable weight settled in your chest at that question. You liked spending time with Cobb. You didn't even have to think hard about it. You knew you did. But you couldn't help feeling guilty. Cobb still didn't know what happened when you met Mr. Holden. Let's see. Saw some drama going on when I checked Tumblr. Hopefully it didn't develop into something serious. What do you mean drama when checking Tumblr? About what? About this? Wait, it's connected? I really am blind at times? I mean, I assume it is. Because Baxter, right? But I don't actually remember what Baxter looks like. So it might just be reusing the names because GB Patch does that. They reuse the names. Their previous games have a Shiloh. And that Shiloh is if memory serves, and I might be misremembering a lot, that Shiloh is a bit of a sociopath. Are you going to tell him that you got pied by his father initially? Nobody's making me spend time with you. Your dad does do stuff so you hang out with my family, but Shiloh shouldn't have said that. You decided to tell him how his dad offered you money. And you kinda have to, right? Actually, you played this, right? I'm pretty sure it's like the dangerous kind of sociopath. But I've never played that one. So you played this. If memory serves, if you tell him right now, it causes drama, but things get resolved. But if you don't, you get the option to tell him when you're older, right? Like you get the option to reveal it when he's in step 2 or step 3. I'm pretty sure. Really? Because I think like the first time I told him here, for sure. But I remember that I did a second playthrough where I didn't tell him here, and I thought I got the chance to tell him later. So here's the deal. This for you, Derpy. And for me. Nobody's making me spend time with you. Cobb's shoulder relaxed. You hadn't even noticed that he had tensed up. Let's see the drama that explodes in step 3. It is 100% true. You just forgot to mention that someone tried to make you spend time with him, even if it was entirely unnecessary. Cobb's shoulder relaxed. Oh yeah, that's what I thought too. Anyway, I didn't think you were pretending. I just wanted to make sure it was okay. That's all. Thanks for telling me. Your throat tightened. It was hard to meet Cobb's earnest gaze again. Keeping secrets was hard. It's no problem, Cobb. By now, the two of you were on the sidewalk near your houses. It was time to part ways. You hugged Cobb goodbye, you said goodbye, you nudged Cobb's shoulder. It gotta be a hug, come on. You stepped forward and wrapped your arms around him tightly. You turned your head, resting your cheek on his shoulder. Cobb stood there awkwardly with his hands at his sides. He wasn't much of a hugger. But you didn't get the impression he wasn't happy that you were. Bye, Cove. See you tomorrow. Yeah, bye, Curry. You know, I don't get it. Why is the boy's naming not working? You pulled away, then jogged towards your house. And I am now remembering the fan art, the kind that makes one wish you can also make the art. I don't actually remember the fan art. It's been a while. What? Yeah, I should have the DLC. I should. When you look back, you saw Cope making his way back home too, as if he felt your eyes on him. It turned around. He waved. You did too. You still felt a little unsure what you were supposed to do about the deal Cope's dad had offered you. Wait. For this one? For beginning and always? Because I know that you can do it with always and forever, but I didn't know you could do it for beginnings and always. I still felt a little unsure. Oh yeah. Didn't want to say something bad or something you shouldn't. You had no idea how Cope would take it either. It would be terrible if it made him feel bad. What if he didn't want to play with you anymore? You might change your mind sometime. There was always tomorrow after all, but for now, it was definitely something that you keep to yourself. To find a look, you went inside your house. Oh, in the fan art. Ah, okay. No, like in Always and Forever, in the new visual novel, it is explicitly stated that you can go for the poly route. Which, nice. Alright. Let's go ahead, save up. I will be right back. I need to go to an idol meeting. I know I distinctly remember picking the Met My Future Spouses one after the introduction. For which one? For this one? Or for the new one? Because for the new one, I did that too. Yeah, I did that too. I'm gonna marry them. Yep, I did that as well. Is it now and forever? I thought it was always and forever. Yeah, it's now and forever. Alright. What do you think? Shopping, fireflies, library, or barbecue. Ghost is the final one. Agree. You are a derpy of culture. Let's go shopping. Come back before it. Oh wait, no, that boys. Come back before it gets dark. All right, sport. The familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you'd been watching slowly across the pavement. Cope waited in front of his dad, brushing his green hair back off his face from where the breeze was blowing it over his glasses. He looked up. He looked to be paying only a mild amount of attention as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded you when you'd first met Mr. Holden, although he's probably not paying Cobb to be friends with himself. Cobb's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow, or maybe you made noise because a second later his eyes were on you. He whipped you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little weird for getting caught. You've gotta learn how to be more sneaky.
Corey!
You pressed your hands together to free them of sand, then jogged over to join the two, smiling at Cobb first, and then his dad.
Corey!
Oh yeah, there it is, the DLC for the voice. Corey, hi.
How's it going?
Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today, Corey? Stop. I found a really cool snail across the road. It was slimy and with funny eyes and a nice shell. Mr. Holden grinned at your enthusiasm. After you finished answering the question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cobb, who was preoccupied folding the bills he had into a tiny rectangle. Yeah, it's great. Sounds good. You know, Cobb was about to hit the stars by the beach. Why don't you go with him? You gave a ready nod, turning to squint at the direction of the stores, like you could see the goods they had to offer all the way from where you stood. Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't mind. Right. I'm sure you guys will have a lot of fun. Mr. Holden reached into his pocket and pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. You found it odd, since your mom's only ever seemed to have cards in theirs. Here. He leaned in to pass a crisp 10 to Cobb, giving him a wink and a whisper. Get something for your friend, too. Sure.
Good kid.
That's my boy. Cobb's dad ruffled his son's hair as he was straightening back up. The bill in his hand still held out towards the green-haired boy. Take care. Cobb accepted the bill after a second and slipped it into his pocket. Then, with one last nod to his dad, he turned and started walking. You followed after him, intrigued at the possibilities this outing might bring. Cobb strayed towards the gentle tide, creeping up the sand, and you fell into place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining, and there weren't many clouds in the sky, though the wind was coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. You took in a deep breath, enjoying the scent of salt and ocean air. When you looked at Cobb, he was dragging his feet through the sand a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. His eyes searched the ground intently. Are you looking for snails? Are you looking for shells? What is it? You didn't feel the need to ask why. It's gotta be snails. I mean, come on. Cope looked over at you, wrinkling his nose. Who would want something like that? You felt the urge to defend the activity you'd been indulging in only a short while ago. A lot of people, there would absolutely not be snails at the beach. It's too salty for them. Snails would, the salt in the beach would, dissolve them. No way, they're weird. And you can't take them anywhere because there's bugs. You have to leave them alone. Oh, Cope, honey, sweetie baby. You're gonna have a rough time when you discover the people who like to keep insects as pets. Cope chuckled to himself, and that ended the discussion. He can think what he wants, and you'll think your own things. The comforting sound of the waves filled the silence with pleasant white noise, and you played a little game with yourself as you walked along, getting as close to the water as possible without getting wet. It resulted in you having to rub out the sand quickly when a wave rushed in, more than a few times, and although Cope threw a few glances your way, he didn't say a word. You didn't either. What did you want to go to the shops for? What do you usually do on the beach? Tarantula enclosure or cockroach enclosure? That's a tough one. I always imagine Cope as a bit of a soft boy, which means both would bring a reaction out of him, but I think the cockroaches would make a bigger reaction. Yeah, cockroaches. Didn't say anything. He seemed altogether too invested in the floor to pay attention. You decided to watch the waves as they inched closer to your feet instead. Oh! Abruptly, Cope stopped, then moved briskly ahead a few steps. What is it? Without a word, he bent down, picking something. So, here you have a situation where they divided a two-word verb that is not divisible, right? Some two-word verbs can be divided into pick up something, right? Picking something up, Huffer. Yeah, in this case, picking up is not generally divided into two, with object, subject, whatever, putting it in between the two constituent parts. In this situation, however, it's more normal to say picking up something half burdened. Maybe not, I'm drunk. What the hell do I know? I'm crazy. Picking something up. Picking up something half buried. Yeah, no, it's picking up something half buried in the sand. You hurried nearer, curiously glancing over his shoulder. Interesting grammar lecture, at least. Thank you. Thank you for being that kind. It was a shell, lightly pink at the bottom and bleached white at the top. Wow. So you found what you were looking for? Cope got back up, turning his find over in his hands before unbuttoning one of the many pockets on his pants and sliding it inside. I'd pick up anything that's kind of cool. This is what I got this time. Cope frowned and didn't remark on your very valid input.
So...
What about you? What do you do out here? I don't come to the beach a lot. I like swimming. I like looking at fish. I like to build sandcastles. Last summer, Lizzie and I built one that was as tall as me, and sometimes they have sandcastles built in competitions done by the boardwalk. Cool. I bet you could win. You smell that cove. Maybe the two of you could build one together one day. I'm now wondering as to what are the things in his pockets. I know, right? Once you reached the shopping area, the noise level grew exponentially. No longer just waves and footsteps, but the chatter of people enjoying the lovely summer day. The call of birds trying to find bits of food left behind, and lots of salespeople trying to get attention. You sniffed the air as you walked beside Cove. You could still smell the ocean, though there were other scents now too. Pizza, pretzels, hot donuts. Okay, not gonna lie. Pizza. Fuck, I want pizza. It was nice. It was not very nice. It was alright. I'm gonna go with nice. The energy surrounding the area seemed to fill you, and there was a bounce in your step as you began looking at all the familiar sights. There were so many things to do, you didn't know where to begin. You looked at Cove, hoping he was just as excited as you were. Cove was glancing from one side of the street to the other, with a look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't quite work out. What's that? Yeah, I guess not. Not at the moment. Normally I would, like, personally, yes. But I forgot that my character isn't actually wearing headphones the way I am wearing headphones 90% of the time, 99% of the time. So it sort of slipped until I had already pressed it. Cove, what's that? Cove pointed to a large crowd of people gathered near a few tables with large colorful umbrellas blooming from their middles. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking the way, but you knew there must be something worth seeing. Without another word, the two of you hurried over to see what all the commotion was about. Feast your eyes on the amazing Alexander. In the center of the crowd was a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had the 3 long tails. There was a little table next to him with a cloth hanging over it that read, "The Amazing Alexander," in glittery golden script. Why tell people his name if it's already on a sign? Hope hummed with understanding, then glanced to walk away just as the Amazing Alexander began shuffling a deck of cards. "I want to see the show." Hope glanced back at the man. He then briefly lifted his arms up of his sides before returning them to place. Okay. He may not be impressed, but at least it didn't ditch you. You grinned, waving for him to follow you as you raced back to stand in that crowd. With that, it began. The magic man pulled one card out of the deck, showing it to the curious onlookers. It was a 4 of diamonds. Watch closely. What? Oh, no, absolutely not. Do not quit. You did. Though a few of the adult onlookers squeezing through a few of the adult onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly, the man snapped his fingers. So here, this part, squeezing through the adult onlookers, that is something I would absolutely fucking never ever do in a million years. I would not touch people or get close enough to touch them by accident, I guess. Suddenly the man snapped his fingers and the card just disappeared. Whoa! Cove, unimpressed. The Amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. You reached out with a kind smile. What's this behind your ear? Tell me. This had to be going somewhere and you needed to find out. He smelled like popcorn and candy when he stepped closer. And enthused by the prospect of touching people I don't know, or I'm not close to. You felt a tug, and then he pulled the 4 of diamonds out from behind your ear. What? You knew that it couldn't really have come from your ear, but you still didn't get how he'd done it. There was a light applause from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. This is for you. The magician plucked a pair of balloons from a clump of them tied down to his table. Both were in the shape of a dolphin, instead of being a normal circle. And one for your friend too. Thank you for being my assistant. Wow. Now you were really grateful he chose you. After that, he went to someone else in the crowd. Pick a card, any card. My uncle does that every time he visits. Not the balloons, the stuff with cards. Cope spoke plainly while reaching over to take the dolphin that had been designated for him. Maybe it wasn't special. Cope was just reading the phone. At least you had a fun time. You wonder if Co's whole family was magic. Well, of course. If so, he was lucky. Yeah, pretty much. Enjoyment. The crowd. The bottom one is a fun option, absolutely. The crowd started to clear some, and you noticed to the side there was a whole rack of brightly colored kaleidoscopes on display. You picked up a kaleidoscope, you picked up a Rubik's Cube, you picked up a Magic 8 Ball, you walked past toys. You briefly looked over the rack of toys, thinking that they could be interesting to look at, but you didn't really feel in the mood at the moment. Cope picked up one of the kaleidoscopes and looked through, twisting the tube at the end. It's more of a... they're interesting, but like... You see one kaleidoscope, one time. What else do you need? Like... kaleidoscope? After a second, he set it back on the rack, moving to the other side of the stall. He went under the awning, careful of his own floating dolphin, and you joined him. And as for Rubik's Cubes, like, okay. Puzzle. So yeah, I guess I'm not that kind of toy person. Do you have places like this in your old town? Are you having fun? I didn't really like it here, and you said nothing. I'm tempted between 2 and 4. He stood in silence for a few moments, waiting for Cope to do something. When he finally moved towards some stalls nearby, you followed behind him. Cute. While Cope looked at sand pails, you were drawn to the table with colorful keychains laid out on it. They were soon in the shape of sea creatures. There was a plate that read, "Handmade," standing proudly in front. Indeed, enjoying the moment. There were lots of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, a turtle. Oh, okay. Not a dolphin, not a big dolphin person. Maybe a shark. Possibly a turtle. Maybe a crab. Crab. Sorry, but it all becomes crab. Personalization. You know how it goes. Your hand stopped on the crab, paused raised, and a tiny smile on its face. You had seen a few crabs at the beach before, though they usually scuttle away before you get the chance to look at them closely. You like the idea of having a crab all of your own. Even if it was just a soft animal, you were instantly enamored. Checking the price though, your heart fell. $6 for a fucking keychain? What the fuck? Excuse you? $6 fucking for a keychain? Even a handmade keychain, what the hell? Yeah, of course, carcinization. Everything will one day become crab. Oh, that's true. This is a tourist trap. This is touristy merchandise. You are correct. I thought about that. $6. You didn't know much about money, but you thought that was a lot to spend on one thing. You rarely had more than a $5 bill to your name. Though that changed the day you met Cope and his dad. You still have the $20 bill Mr. Holden gave you hidden away in your room. That's a grand sum of money. But you can spend something that was at home instead of in your pocket. Maybe you'd ask your moms to bring you here again one day. Now that you knew what you wanted. Is that what you want? Huh? Oh. It's $6. I didn't bring any money.
Alright.
It's fine. I absolutely took the money. Hey. If someone offers me free money, I'm gonna take the fucking money. To quote Jack Sparrow, take what you can, give nothing back. I'm sorry. Rip him off. Be it less as a bribe and more of a strategic transportation of equipment or shit. I actually don't remember what the STEAL acronym ends up coming out to. Give me a moment, let me Google it. It is strategically transfer equipment to alternative locations. In this case, money. You sure? Hooray, you don't have to. You don't have to. Cope didn't mind that. He took the keychain from your hands and that was that. He was holding a small yellow bucket for himself too. Yes, steal. I was always gonna get you something. I really got the money for it. You beamed, excited at the idea of displaying the keychain somewhere in your room. It was nice of Cope's dad to let Cope buy something for you too. You had to remember to thank him next time you saw him. Yeah, I'm gonna see how it checks out if you tell him in step 2 or 3. After Cope paid, the two of you stepped out of the store side by side, your balloon dolphins knocking together and spiraling around in the air. You watch Cope hold up his nude pail to his face, examining it thoroughly. Hey Cope? Yeah? Why is your dad always giving people money? Thanks for the keychain. Forget it. I know, right? It's tough to think about that. Step 2 would be the most drama. Step 3 would be funny. Because like step 2 would for sure would cause drama, right? He'd be, because it's teenagers, right? And step 3, they'd be old enough that by that point, and old enough, by the way, that by that point it'd be like just funny. It'd just be funny. They're adults by then, and they'd laugh about it. Because, like, obviously $20 wouldn't be enough to keep spending time with them if they didn't like them. Exactly. Step 3 would be a funny anecdote. Why is your dad always giving people money? From what you've seen, that happens a lot with Mr. Holden. You've never met anyone else who shares dollar bills with people all the time.
Huh?
I don't know. Hope didn't look like you really understood the question. For a second, you thought about mentioning the way you and his father had met, but decided against it. That was meant to be a secret, and you felt like your feelings might have been hurt if your parents were offering to pay people to be your friend. Cobb looked further down the street, where different food cars were lined up. I'm pretty sure I remember it being referenced in step 2 if I told him step 1. He rested his non-cast arm over his stomach, and just as he did, yours let out a light growl. You hadn't eaten since breakfast, and after all this wandering around, you were definitely ready for some lunch. Let's get some food. Yeah. You two wandered around a short while, looking at all the delicacies that were available. Everything looked delicious, and as the different smells, both sweet and salty, wafted over to you, your stomach growled over even louder. After passing up hot dogs, snow cones, ice cream, pizza, you both agreed on pretzels. Excuse you? Excuse the fuck you? Passing up pizza? For pretzels? Heresy. Complete heresy. How could you? Passing up pizza. Pizza is the perfect food. Perfect is just crazy. I'm hurt. Cobb got something sweet and cinnamony, and you? Cheese. Cheese. Come on, cheese. Over pizza. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's crazy. Pizza is just perfection. Shit, I want pizza. You licked your lips hungrily as the vendor handed your pretzel over, ready to take a bite. Shit, you know what? Tomorrow, I'll get pizza and stream this. And eat the pizza. And maybe get some tequila? Yeah. It'll be fun. You licked your lips hungrily. Excuse you? What? Excuse you? What? What was that therapy? What heresy? What sacrilege? What crime against humanity? Did you just put in the chat therapy? I'm gonna ignore that for a little bit, because obviously you were just trolling me, trying to get a rise out of me, knowing that I would never be in favor of such an evil desecration of the perfect food. You licked your lips hungrily as the vendor handed your pretzel over, ready to take a big bite. It was covered in gooey, melted cheese, just the way you liked it. It seemed odd to get a dessert pretzel before eating normal food. You found an empty table close enough to the beach that the grit of the sand made terrible noises when you dragged the chairs out to sit down. Look, if you think Hawaiian's bad, look at what Swedes did. Like they did banana and curry in pizza. No? Okay, do you mean banana combined with curry? Or banana pizza and curry pizza? Because I could see curry pizza. Yeah, it'd be an interesting combination. But banana and curry combined into a single one, That sounds unhinged. Would the dessert be savory? Like dessert is sweet, right? It wouldn't be savory. It wouldn't be dessert if it wasn't. If it weren't. So I kind of agree, honestly. Dessert is sweet. It has to be, otherwise it's not dessert. Those balloons are gonna make it hard to eat. Go place his bucket on the table as he started his still balled up hand that was wrapped around the string. That is fucking unhinged, Turkey. Banana and curry into a single pizza. That's evil. That's truly evil. But I will say I understand it better than Hawaiian pizza, because Mexico has rice with fried banana. And cream. So like I get that more than Hawaiian pizza. Yes it is. I'm sorry. Although I'll be honest, I don't like that rice with bananas either. I don't like it. I never liked it. I don't get it. Like, it's not bad, but why would I when I can have something better? Ko placed his bucket on the table as he stared at his still balled up hand that was placed around the string. You opened your mouth to agree before an idea hit you. I know. After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere it wouldn't get sandy, you tugged the balloon dolphin out of Ko's hand and tied it in a delicate bow around his wrist. After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere, it would up.
Oh.
Hope bounced his arm up and down in place, testing the stability of your knot. After watching his balloon jostle but remain attached, he smiled, satisfied. There, now do mine. Cope repeated the ritual. He struggled somewhat with the cast, restricting his fingers on one hand and a string already tangled around the other.
Okay.
Got it. The two of you spent a moment admiring your handiwork, both hands now free to allow easy munching on your pretzels. Feels wrong to eat non-sweet rice with banana, right? Because it's definitely not sweet rice. It's regular rice, white rice, but still regular rice, savory rice with bananas, right? I've never gotten it. It's a big hit here in Mexico. I've never gotten it. The two of you spent a moment admiring your handiwork, both hands now free to allow easy munching on your pretzels. You bit into the doughy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue with a smile as you looked out over the ocean. After a time, you finished your pretzel. You were done before Ko. It was boring not having anything to do. You pulled from the string on your balloon to bring it down to your level. Then you held the dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to make it look like it was jumping through the air. If you turned to face towards the beach, it almost looked like it was swimming in the waves like a real dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced back at Ko, he had left the remaining part of his pretzel in the wrapper and he was gripping his dolphin too. My name is Merryweather. He's the prince of all dolphins. My name is Splash, the star in the movies. My name is Sherry. She's actually an alien. And my name is Sam. They're just a regular dolphin. Alien. When no one is looking, she turns hers back into her true alien self. She has purple skin and 10 eyes. Yes, yes it is. He sighed, wishing you could meet a real live alien. I agree. Agree. You know, they should have included an alien abduction DLC just for shits and giggles. Oh, maybe they did in step 3 and I just don't know it yet. What's yours? Cope considered the question, placing the balloon against the table and resting his free arm across it in contemplation. It's... With a loud pop, the dolphin exploded into ribbons. Oh no! For a second, all Cope did was gape in shock. Like you. Then his cheeks puffed up, squinting his eyes, and you saw tears start to glisten. Curry, it... So... Offered to find Alexander? No. Didn't say anything? No. You offered to give Cope your balloon? Maybe. Okay, but... I would make a joke. Shit. That's a tough one. Yeah, kinda. His name is Pop. That's a weird name for a dolphin. Shit, that didn't work. Cope glanced at you briefly, a frown on his face. I don't think it's a joke. Shit. Shit, I'm not taking it back. Normally I would, but I'm not taking it back. It was so funny to you. His reaction was too good. Shit. Cope spent the rest of the outing sniffling, and he didn't say much else. I've won. Alright. Okay. The passing of Cope's balloon was the last major event of your adventure. In the end, the two of you headed back like that afternoon. Just put it under the category of childhood experiences. Yeah, true enough. You separated on the beach, and while Cope went straight home with his brand new sandpail in hand, you decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves and the sunset, fiddling with your new keychain. Another summer day was drawing to a close. It'd been a good one, except for the sad final note. Alright. How long have I been streaming? 2:39. We did shopping. We did sandcastle, we did long day, and we did sleepover. Let's do fireflies, or barbecue, or library, and then finish the stream after that. That way, next stream, probably tomorrow, I'll do the last 3 and step into step 2. Yeah, I like that. Let's go with... Oh, save first. I obsessively save after each moment. Barbecue, fireflies, library. So I want to finish with fireflies and then ghost. And I remember library is fun, but I don't remember barbecue. Oh, I remember barbecue now. Let's do library. Every year, the Sunset Bridge Memorial Library held a summer reading program. Your moms and Lizzie were big fans of it. Mom and mommy, and it feels so weird to say that word. Mom and mommy because it encouraged reading, and Lizzie because she could win prizes. When it came to what you thought of having to read a bunch of books and then going to the library with a competitive Lizzie, yeah, mommy. Shit, so feels so fucking weird. Is it because I'm internet poisoned? Yeah, it is because I'm internet poisoned, Derpy. And also because I have issues. One of which is mommy issues. So yeah. But I would absolutely love to go to a library. %. Each time it'd be one of the highlights of your summer. And you'd never been tried about letting your parents know that. They are cool. You know, I work at a university, but I have never stepped foot into my university's libraries. Ever. I should do that. What good is being a teacher at a library if you'd never actually at a university, if you never used the university library? Like, I've been into where I studied, right? The university where I studied, I've been to the library. But the university I work at now, never been inside of it. I loved my university's library, the one where I studied, my alma mater. But I've never tried the one where I work at. I should go. Next time I pick up my paycheck. Yeah, no, I agree. Good place to be. You and Lizzie won with Shiloh before, and this year, you'd read Cobb too. His dad had been so over the moon about Cobb being included that he'd driven all 4 of you. You had never been in Cobb's dad's car before. It seemed a lot shinier than your mom's. After hurting the grip inside, Mr. Holden gave you all a wide wave with the arm that had a stingray on it. Have fun, kids. Oh wait, no. The dad voice. Have fun, kids. Stay inside of the librarians, you hear? I wish I could watch you in action, but your poor old dad has to finish up some work.
I got it.
Though I'm sure you won't get in the way. Heck, I'd probably hold you kids back. Do I sound tired? Like in general, or when I do the dad voice? There's pointedly no reply. And that fits. He's probably quite tired. Single dad? Oh, that kind of way. I thought it was going for more of a stoner dad vibe. Cause he's a surf bro. Like, look at him. He's 100% a surf bro. There's pointedly no reply from his son over what was likely meant as only a joke. Cobb's dad seems to deflate a bit. Oh, poor guy. I'll swing around again when the shindig ends. Yeah, you can go home now. Fucking hell, Co, you're brutal. Oh, you don't have to throw me out the door. His sister, already in full competition mode, cut him off. For once, Cobb looked grateful she was there.
Come on!
We have to find that table, Mr. Holden. You can talk to Cobb after when we win. Okay. See you in an hour. Have fun. That's it already? My advanced age is really catching up to me now.
Bye.
Bye, Dad. Bye, son. The 4 of you watch him shuffle out of the library, glancing over his shoulder at Cobb more than once. Bye, Mr. Holden. Thanks for bringing us. Let me ask you something, Derpy. What do you think of Shiloh? I don't know what you think. I don't know what you're thanking me for. Oh shit. Are you copying Shiloh? Distracted, Cope was already glancing around the gigantic library. I want to go explore. RO? What do you mean RO? What? I said I want to look around and see what's in here. But the quiz starts soon. That's where we came. Wide at the first signs of conflict, Shiloh's eyes darted between Lizzie and Cope. Ah, alright. No, for sure he is. He frustrates me. Really? I don't remember him being a romance option. Then you can do it without me, right? You need a bunch of people. Didn't your dad say to stay with the librarians? You shouldn't go somewhere by yourself. Cope leveled at an impressed stare at the both of them. Then his eyes met yours. Why are you looking at her? Corey is with us. Corey can come if she wants. Shit. Putting us on the spot, huh? What do you think? I think I've done both. Tough, huh? So part of me wants to choose to stay because a quiz. I like quizzes, right? They're fun. I'm the kind of person that likes exams. They're fun and easy generally. But Cope, right? We ride or die for Cope. Shit. But exploring would mean exploring for books. It's tough, isn't it? Shit. Okay. Where's do I have a dice here? I had a dice somewhere around here. Shut up, Derpy. Just shut up. Just shut up. You walk over to Cope, averting your eyes from Lucy. Seriously? Cope looked surprised but happy at the same time. You talked about how much you enjoyed this on the ride over, so he probably hadn't been expecting you to side with him. Fine, let's go, Shiloh. Okay. Their arms folded, your sister stormed off. Shiloh had to race to keep up with her. She cares a lot about that. Yeah, Lizzie gets really competitive. I can tell. Since you've been here a lot before, we could play hide and seek. Hide and seek? Not exploring? Yep, I'm searching for you and you're searching for me. Really have to look at everything. You weren't entirely sure how effective it would be, but couldn't say he was totally wrong. I'll hide first. Decision made, Cope took off towards the back of the library. You'd already agreed to play with him instead, so you covered your face and waited for 10 seconds. When you looked up again, he was nowhere to be seen. You glanced over towards the way he went. Cope hadn't had much time to hide, but he was already invisible. The place you decided to check was... See, I think you would be next to the fairy tale display, because Cope likes mermaids. That's his thing. Got me to go solar system? I can back up. Near the older kids section, there was a display with a bunch of fancy looking books. They were old copies of old stories. Leaning over the Hans Christian Andersen section. You still think solar system? Alright. Hand resting on the glass above were the tiny little mermaid and Bucket Thumbelina. Never heard of that. It peered into a tiny corner. You better pick up that phone, Derpy, because I fucking called it. And there was Cove, seemingly lost in thought. Ooh. Ah, I didn't think you'd find me so fast. Nice one. This is the first place I looked. Pouting, he dusted off his pants. Really? Really?
Okay.
Your turn now. I'm gonna cover my eyes and count to 10. I promise I won't peek. While Cobb had his head securely behind the palms of his hands, you went to go hide. Fire awareness, stuffed animals. Stuffed animals would be too simple. It's exactly the first place he would look. Outlaw poster. That sounds good. Fantasy section would be like second place. Other books would be like last place. But I really like Fire Award with giant fruit. Oh. I didn't even know it was a giant fruit. Shit. I'm not sure what to choose. Fire awareness or giant fruit? It's gotta be giant fruit. Like, what the hell? It's a giant fruit. Nobody had any idea where there was a giant peach sitting in the corner. It's a good fruit too. Peach. Delicious. It had something to do with a book about a kid named James. Lizzie had said once, but you'd never read it. A giant peach and a kid named James. Do you know that reference? Okay. The huge sculpture mostly just took up a lot of space, but you could wedge yourself in next to it and hide carefully. Sure enough, it took a little while for Cove to find you, long enough that you'd gotten tired of sitting hunched up. You won this round, and were ready to come out. Cove smiled when you stepped into the open. He was also glad for this resolution. Good hiding spot, I was about to start looking outside. Yes, I'm pretty good at this. Roll dog, really? Damn, that's a wow. You grinned back as you brushed the debris of your clothes. Nobody had cleaned back there in a long time. The janitorial staff needs to up their work. Not cleaning there. Bad.
Alright.
It's my turn again. Start counting so I can pick a spot. Okay. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. When the time was up, it was long gone. Again. There were still a lot of good places to hide, so you figured he was. No stuff. Detective poster. Willy Wonka. Okay, now this one's hard. Wonka? You wanna go Wonka? Let's go Wonka then. He must be next to all the Willy Wonka statues, you thought. And holy shit, okay. Ow. Cove was standing there looking at them. You must have missed him in the crowd at first sight. But he wasn't really hiding at all. Oh, hey. These are creepy. The statues were made of brass. Lucy had told you once, apparently, they were all the kids that had gone to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Charlie Bucket, Augustus Gloop, and Veruca Salt. I was gonna hide here, but they're too weird. Let's keep playing. I need to go to do good in at least one round. He put his hands over his eyes, but before he could run off again, a librarian approached the two of you. I know, right? It's kind of weird. Listen to detective stuff? Huh. Ah, kids, I've been looking for you. Cope peeked between his fingers at the stranger. Us? You must be Cope. Your dad told me he was waiting by the entrance. Cope blinked, mouth opening like he was going to say something, then glanced out at his pink cast. It was a pretty clear giveaway. Yeah, it was kind of fun. Should have chosen a less difficult first hiding place. Sure. Is my sister Lizzie with him? She's taller than us and has orange hair. You're Curry, right? You nodded. You, I found both of you at once. That's right. She's with him. And the little guy with freckles. Come on. Let's go get you reunited so we can close up for the night. What the fuck? It's night already? Ready to go home, you and Co followed him up front, where the ragtag group of family members and Jalu were all waiting. Hey! There you are! She was pouting. You could tell from all the way across the room. Cory? Hurry. Cory. She was pouting. You could tell from all the way oh yeah. And it was only that much more obvious as you got closer. Oh, I forgot about that. Did he win? We came in second. Hey, gang. I thought you'd have been with them the whole time, Cope. I'm glad you didn't just go off by yourself at least. Cope glanced over at you, then back up at his dad.
Yeah.
Me too. Aww, that's fucking adorable. A bright smile spread over Mr. Holden's face. That's not a smile. Oh, okay. Even so. Oh, wait, no. The pose. Even so, next time you should... Cove? Cove's dad glanced around, slightly frantic, but Cove, just like always, had snuck up without thinking to say anything. Holy shit, that's funny. He's leaving. Cove's trying to be the first one to the car. Ah. The someone to call shotgun. With a sudden burst of speed, Lizzie darted to the exit, still in big turn-to-be mode, even for something like a race to ride in the front seat. There was nothing else for the three of you to do except head after them, pretending the librarians hadn't noticed all the commotion. Though Lizzie had been victorious in claiming the window seat in the car, you could tell by her crossed arms and occasional pout that she still had not forgiven you for your betrayal. Cope had sighed when he had to sit in the middle after Lizzie shot past him at the last second, but he cheered up some as you hopped in the back seat next to him. So fucking adorable. Did you say you came in second place? That's some good going. No, it's not. She levied another glare at you over her shoulder.
Sure.
Uh-huh, sure. Striving to improve is good, too. That makes Cory the winner in your family. Fuck. Someone's gotta be. What? Cory kept finding me in our game. I lost. We need a rematch. Hide and seek with just you two? That doesn't even count as winning. Why not? It's so special. There's no judges or prizes. Yeah, definitely an overachiever. You eyed the seed that she'd fought so hard to win. There wasn't much of a prize either. Dad? Yeah. Yes. You could see Cole's dad eyes in the rearview mirror, suddenly attentive at his son's call. We need a prize. Oh, as a matter of fact, Mr. Holden focused intently on the road ahead as though a suitable reward to please Cope might appear before him. Right. That big thing on the flyer for this was the chance to get a free pizza coupon, wasn't it? How about I call up a takeout place and we can have a pizza at home for dinner? Pizza. Perfection. I really want pizza. Lizzie huffed, pulling her arms closer to her chest. Is Mom even gonna let you take a pizza from Mr. Holden? We'll see. I'll ask her. I'll talk to all of your moms about this. You whooped.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Holden. Cheese pizza's fine. Thanks. Thanks, Dad. You're welcome. I'll do what I can. But you really should have stuck with the group. The quiz would have been fun. At least, that was the plan when I dropped you off. We stayed together and didn't leave the library. I'm glad for that, I am. Well, there's a lot of trouble you can get into even if you do have a buddy along for the ride. Just be careful next time. So I saw a picture of Cliff saying, you know, I wasn't much older than you when I had Cobb. And that picture puts this in a whole different light. Which is so weird. The birds and the bees. I worry about you, and I bet Corey's parents wouldn't want her to run off unexpectedly either. Okay, son? Okay. That's my boy. Enough guff from your old dad. Let's decide what kind of toppings you're gonna get. Pepperoni. Lizzie is based, of course. Sounds good. Anything else? And the conversation continued from there, with debates on what was best to put on a pizza for the rest of the drive. Mr. Holden wanted anchovies, and the other kids, 3 kids in the car, had to band together to explain how gross they were. Anchovies are okay. They're not something I would get, but they're not disgusting. Ah, shit. The way Cobb's dad laughed up in the front seat made you wonder if he was doing it on purpose. He was so fucking doing it on purpose. You had a fun day already, but closing it out with the promise of a free pizza after all and more time to hang out with Cobb made it even sweeter. It was a shame that you hadn't been able to do the quiz, but skipping it for just 1 year didn't hurt. It was worth it. There we go. There we go, you guys. Really? We're gonna have fun with that. You know what I remember? The camping trip. I remember the camping trip. I remember I loved that one. Alright. Alright. Everyone who's still here, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Therapy. Thank you for keeping me company. Let's do this tomorrow. Around the same time. Fuck, brain. It's late. I need to sleep. But yeah. See you around, everyone. Like and subscribe. Take care. Love y'all. Sleep well. Bye.